And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Forward Echo podcast. I am your host, Monsieur Dimouy. In this podcast, we will be going through a bit of a change. Usually, we had been going through every single game, through the week. But this being kind of a niche kind of deal thing. We're really gonna be focusing on kind of the gold and silver brackets, and then any of the bronze teams that are playing silver teams is kind of like is that kind of make that in a way that's kind of news, because those are the teams that are fighting to break into silver. So definitely. So that's kind of where we're going to be doing it now, just because I kind of want to keep everything within about 30 minutes as opposed to an hour. Hour feels a little bit long as I ramble on here, of course. But in the studio tonight, we have Venom again back from Nova. How you doing, Venom?
Hey guys, how you doing?
And Shepard is supposed to be here, but he's not here yet. Hopefully, he'll be joining us at some point. I've pinged him a few times, and it's possible he's just lost track of time in the game or something. He does that from time to time. But as I mentioned in the cast, we have a special guest from that game that just concluded, the game of Nebula and Guinness. We have White Fox of Guinness. How you doing, White Fox?
Hey there, I'm doing alright. How you doing?
Doing good. I don't. I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank. All right. So I don't know why I just lost my train of thought there completely. But yeah. So Shepard's supposed to be here. Shepard's not here. All right. So we will be playing the game. We'll be. I mean, we're going to be playing the game no matter what. If Shepard comes in late, we will be, getting his predictions for whatever games he misses. Did I just get a ping from him? Yes, sir, it is now. That was him. He said, "Oh, is it now?" I said, "Yes, of course it is." So he will be here any moment. And so the way this works, we'll be going through these games here, and you guys will be making your predictions. And then on Sunday, hopefully, you guys can come back. If you can't, it's not a big deal, but ideally, you'll come back on Sunday, and we will score those predictions. There's the man. What's up, Shepard? How you doing? Yep,
Sorry, I forgot it was right now.
it's all
Time zones
good.
are fun.
It's
Well,
all
Have you
good.
started?
Yeah, we are currently live.
Oh,
So we hadn't actually
hello.
gotten into it yet. We just got through the intro. I was just explaining what we were doing. Got to go through pretty much gold and silver games, and then any games with silver teams playing the bronze teams, and that's kind of an effort to get it, within about 30 minutes, and also makes a little bit more room if we want to go more in depth with any particular games. As I felt like I was rushing us through a few on Sunday in particular. But yeah, so we will be doing the make your predictions. All three will be playing tonight, and we'll be. I will be making sure we get all of them down. Conclusively, so there's no more questions going into Sunday, like we had on last Sunday. So Shepard, we're basically following the main list, but you'll be able to follow it up. We're going from bottom to top, but we're not obviously, like I said, because we're not doing all the bronze teams. We're not going to be starting at the very bottom. But anyone listening, you can also follow along from the website. It's just on the main page, the announcement of all the matchups. So to get us going, our first matchup here is going to be that is Spaghetti versus Milk. A notable matchup, as Milk, I believe, is the bronze team in this situation, and Milk very quickly climbing the leaderboard here as they are facing off against a fairly competent team in Spaghetti. What are you guys thinking?
Ooh, that's a tough one because both of these teams are very competent. Spaghetti is a little bit more established of a team as they played in the preseason. Milk is a little bit newer. However, I know Milk's lineup, but I think they might be able to deal with the stun heavy, fast heavy team that is Milk. So
and that's the big thing about both teams is Spaghetti. I know Wyperm especially has been known for being very stun heavy, so it'll be a lot of stunts both ways.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure on this one. I would probably give it. I'm thinking spaghetti in three.
Venom down for
In my
Spaghetti for
opinion,
three.
yeah, I'm thinking spaghetti in three. Just with those stuns, that's gonna be hard to play. But Milk's gonna. I think they'll give him a pretty good game.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I'm gonna put my money on Milk in 3.
Hmm.
Well, money, figuratively speaking. No legal betting going on here.
None whatsoever. I'm put mine on Milk on 2. I think
Oh.
Callan alone. I mean, I've played with him personally, and he's got some very impressive shots himself. And if they leave that goal open, he can hit a lot of those half courts very easily.
Yeah, they've definitely been advancing as a team. very well.
I do agree. Callan does have a fairly dangerous shot, and they have been doing really well so far in the season. I meant to look up their record, but it's all right. We will go ahead and move on now to the next. The only other bronze team playing here, Knee Plus Ultra versus Ignite. Knee Plus Ultra, formerly SFF, that is that team of Zux, Bucks, Nux, Shucks. I don't I don't remember the whole
Who
off the
knows?
top of my head, but yeah. What are you guys feeling about this one?
I'm gonna put my money on Ignite. Absolutely, just more established as a team. They have that team chemistry. Ignite has some of the best team chemistry in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
It's incredible watching them pass around and everything. I mean, Me Plus Ultra, they're a fantastic team too. I've seen them play, but they're a little bit newer of a team. They still have their lumps to take, so to speak. I'm gonna put my money on Ignite in 2.
Ignite in 2.
I'm gonna have to agree on that one. I'm on board with the Ignite in 2. Both are very, very competent teams. But yeah, just with the seasoned players of Ignite, I think they're gonna pull that one together.
I would agree. I think it's gonna be Ignite, but I think NE Plus Ultra will pull one game from them. I think it'll go in 3.
So Venom with Ignite in 3. The one deviation here. Deviations is of course the lifeblood of this game, as we saw last week with so many similar predictions. It kind of was tied up for most of it. All right, so yeah, all right. Moving on, team is close to our hearts. Nova versus Instinct. Nova coming in 2-0, and I think isn't Instinct as well. Yeah, both teams 2-0 coming into this, looking to pick up their first loss on the season. How you guys feeling about this one? I'm fairly confident, but of course I'm a little biased.
Honestly,
I mean, oh,
Go ahead.
honestly, just sorry about that. Nova, you guys have your passing game on point. Instinct, they have a newer roster, so they're gonna be trying things out, be a bit more experimental. So it's gonna be a little bit harder to try to nail down what they're doing, which might make it a little
That
bit more
does-
difficult.
Yeah, it is hard to
However,
read sometimes.
It is absolutely, it's hard to read. And Cruz, they have some team chemistry there as well between 2 and 2, but maybe not all 4 players. So I think Nova's gonna take this match, but it's gonna be in 3.
I'm a little biased here. I'm gonna say we're gonna pull it in 2 though. I think we'll be able to get 2 games.
I don't know. Instinct is looking pretty strong. It's gonna be
They
tough
are.
for you guys.
Well,
Absolutely.
I personally agree with Venom. Of course, Nova's going to take it in 2 games, but of course, that's not not for nothing. This is a really strong team. Kavichi, Connemara, Chaos, I'm not Zeus, Cruisin', Link One, Spank. I mean, any of the 4 from that roster are going to be very, very tough to fight. But White Fox, what's your prediction?
that's a very tough one because you've got Dim as a goalie, and then Cruisin' as a goalie, and both are very, very strong.
That's a very good point.
Connemara is very strong at those long shots, and we've seen him do some of those bank shots. I mean, even in like the pre games to the normal matches, he's got a few in there. That's gonna be a close one for sure, but I have to agree. I think it's gonna be Nova, but I do think it is gonna be in that 3.
You want to know what? I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna give it to Instinct in 3.
Instinct in 3.
changing up.
All right.
Okay, so
Cool.
Shepard betting against his friends.
I am.
Hey, no, it's okay. It's okay.
I am. We gotta.
No.
gotta
Of
show some
course,
differentiation
Can't be
here.
completely
I've got
biased.
to, I've got to throw some shade. I have to. I can't help it.
Of course you do.
And so now moving on, I realize now I
Just
skipped.
gotta prove him wrong.
I skipped pretty far ahead on my list here. So on my list, we're rolling back to Spaghetti versus Flair, another one close to our hearts. And I guess, yeah, Shep, you want to take this
All
one?
right, I'm gonna quickly say if we played like we played last week, I'm gonna give it to Spaghetti. But if we played like we played today, we're gonna take it in 2.
Take it. So which one is your official prediction for the
Flair in 2.
Flair in 2?
I'm being very biased here, Palador. I'm sorry, but I gotta root for my own team.
Venom, actually, White Fox, why don't you take the second round on this one? What are you thinking about this matchup here?
Well, with this matchup, same thing with Shepard. I've seen him and played with him personally as well. Very strong roster on both sides. Let's see here. I think it's going to be Flair, but in 3.
Ooh.
Flair in 3.
I think Spaghetti's
Hmm.
gonna take one of them.
Mhm.
So Venom, are you deviating? I guess you're gonna have to deviate from one of them, but will you deviate from both of them here?
Mm, you know, if Flair can pull off playing the way they did against Infinite tonight, I think they'll be able to pull through against Spaghetti. They played a phenomenal match tonight, so
thank you.
I am gonna go with Flair, but I think it will be in 3 matches or 3 games as
I
well.
am
I
hurt.
think Spaghetti. Hey, I'm still giving you the game.
You hear
A
that,
win
Shep?
is a win.
You hear that, Shep? He's
Right.
giving you the game. How do you feel about that phrasing?
Ooh. Well, okay.
I don't know.
You
I
can just
think we're
have it.
losing some respect for Venom here, personally.
Ooh.
This
Oh,
man is
man.
betting against us. I'm kidding.
I'm betting for you.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So the next matchup here, Instinct versus Ignite. This might be a really good game here between these two teams.
That's gonna be a really close one.
I think so too. Honestly.
If Instinct's new roster can pull together as well as they played against us, I'm gonna give this to Instinct just because they have that strong defense. Their mid play might not be the same as Ignite's is going to be, but they're gonna have a tough time getting past Cruzen and Kavici in the back line there.
Mhm.
I know Far and Wolf are very good at getting up under the goal, just sneaking around, hiding behind it. But if Instinct can watch out for it, Instinct's got it. I'm gonna say Ignite, but in 3.
Ignite in 3. Venom, how you feeling about that one?
I'm
Also,
going
White
with
Fox, I
Ignite
believe you're
in
breathing
2.
on your microphone.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm going with Ignite in 2. I think I haven't seen enough out of Instinct yet to know quite what to judge off of them. And I know Ignite well enough that they play a very composed game, very strategic. So I'm gonna give it to them in 2.
Ignite in 2. And White Fox, how you feeling?
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to agree with the Ignite in 2. I mean, they're just a very strong team. They've been compiled and played a few seasons, and they've got that chemistry together already. Versus the newer team of Instinct trying to, and they just had that roster change recently as well, did they not?
Yeah,
They did.
I think they dropped one, picked up 2
As
more.
of
Yeah.
last
I think it
week.
was $1
Yep.
for was it Cruisin' and Spank, right?
Cruzen and Spank.
Yeah.
Yep. So they just had that roster changes too. So they're working with that as well.
They may be
And
working
trying
with
to
that, but it also gives them a bit of an advantage just for that unknown wildcard factor.
that is very true.
Yeah, because
I'm a-
from what I hear, Cruisin' and Spank have been playing together for a really long time.
They have been.
They have been. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep it at the 2.
And 2. All right. So moving on to the next matchup here, Orbit versus Nova, and I think
As much as I love my Nova boys here,
this is definitely
Orbit
No
is a
faith?
very strong, very quick team that's going to put a lot of pressure on you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give it to Orbit, to be quite honest.
Ooh.
in
Okay.
I love you guys.
No,
but
that's fine.
Orbit in.
If you guys have been playing the way you played, I'm going to say Orbit in 3.
All right.
Woo!
All right.
Giving you a game.
Giving us a game.
Giving
okay.
us a game.
Okay,
Hey, I
boy.
appreciate that.
I see.
I'm glad he's got some confidence.
Understood. Oh, hey,
What
it's
Fox you
Zenith.
wanted or?
Oh, hey, Zenith, did you just hear my great praise for you and your team?
White Fox,
I'm
what do
gonna
you
have to
think?
go against the green.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go against go with Nova in the 3.
Against the
Dimwit was
grain,
on
he
my
says.
team. Yeah, but Dim
With
was
the
on my
2 other
team a
Nova
few
players
seasons
here.
ago.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. But no, Dim was on my team a few seasons ago, and I don't know if you guys remember Dragon and I, but we were a very quick boosting team as well. So he's seasoned against the boosting team and goaling specifically against boosters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I think Dim in goal is gonna come in clutch.
that's a good point. He is solid back there in our goal. That's why we have him there.
Well,
You
and not for
know,
not. I mean, I can't take all that praise and not throw out that Essend is a very good
Oh,
goalie in his own right as well.
100%.
I
He's a
mean,
good
I think
goalie.
we
He's
have 2
also a
very
great
good goalies.
sweeper. He's a great sweeper.
I think he's better
good
at.
outside down.
I think he's better at that than I am, honestly.
Mhm.
If they when they're breaking in on the bubble like that, he's quicker than I am.
Mm.
What's your call?
So, who, White or me?
You.
Oh yeah, me. I'm going Nova I'm going Nova in 3.
Nova in
Hey, you
3.
can't be
That's 2 points for Shepard
Ouch.
coming next week.
I don't think so, man. We're gonna have to prove you
I
wrong.
don't know. You guys played phenomenally, but I know Orbit as well.
We got some tricks up our sleeves. Just you
Well, just for a little bit of drama here, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here. I'm going to call it Nova in 2. And yes, that is an
Ooh.
indictment
Oh.
against Orbit. And Nova is going to outplay the. I'll just say it. Nova's going to outplay the shit out of Orbit.
Ooh.
All right, you can quote me on
Oh
that.
boy, he went there.
Take it to the presses. I want to
there.
see
He
it on
went
the
there.
front page tomorrow. Okay.
All right.
You
got
can't let
some
that down.
confidence.
You can't let that down in your own podcast coming up.
Well, now we have to win because that's
Now you
gonna
have to.
that is if we don't pull out a win on that one is gonna come back and hurt.
Zenith, if you didn't hear,
Oh,
I
yeah.
predicted you guys are gonna win.
Oh, it looks like
Absolutely.
our background just crashed. So just a moment while I get that running again. I don't know why that happened. All right, so now moving on. That was Orbit and Nova. So we're moving now on to Infinite versus oh wait, we can't do
Yeah,
Infinite
that just already
versus
happened.
Ignite. Or, excuse me, Infinite
mean
versus
Flair.
Flair. And that was
I'm betting
what,
2-1 Infinite.
2-1 Infinite. It was a good matchup. I mean,
It
y'all
was a
took
good
that first
matchup.
game
Yeah.
rather convincingly. And then
It was a lot of fun to play. It was very competitive the entire way through. I feel
it
like
was a fun one to
It was
watch.
so much fun to play.
It was
They
it was a great
played
game to watch.
phenomenally.
They played quick. You guys played very controlled, though. I thought you guys did a really good job at that.
It was hard to control against them. Like we had control there for a bit, so they played controlling as well, but they played super fast. Our boosting was struggling near the end of it, but theirs was still going strong. It was a fun match to play. They played fantastically, I have to say.
Yeah, 100%.
Actually, this is usually I would do this on Sunday, but since this is already done, I'm gonna go ahead and for anyone watching the stream, gonna hit that transition button. Ooh, there's that gold ring. There it is. Sitting comfortably on over there. All right. So now we will move on to another. I think this might be the first gold matchup we're going to be talking about here. That is Kang versus Infinite. It's two powerhouse teams. What are y'all thinking about that one? That's going to be a harder one to predict.
That one is going to be very tough to predict. If I'm going to say this, if Infinite can keep it together and if they get the momentum early in that first round, Infinite's going to take that match. Kang is on a team to really get in their heads and get down about it. They're going to continue playing strong no matter what happens. But Infinite, once they get that momentum rolling, it is hard to stop them. So it's hard to say. It's really hard to predict for this matchup.
And this is where we get the real what do you see? You know, those deviations between you guys. Although you did a really good job of deviating from each other up to this point, I think this is where we'll start seeing more deviations because these are teams that are going to be very hard to predict.
I'm probably going to be the only one saying this opinion here, but I'm going to say Infinite in 3. I have faith in them.
Infinite in 3. Yeah. All right. White Fox, you agree?
It's gonna be a tough one, but I think it's gonna be Kang in 3.
Kang in 3. Ooh. So
it's gonna be tight.
Pretty opposite. Well, not quite opposite. I guess those are the midline. What do you think of Venom?
So, man, this is gonna be tough because I really like the guys on Infinite. I think they've been playing really well. But Kang, they're one of those teams that I think they'll sneak up on you. They're gonna come back with a vengeance from preseason. I think it's gonna be Kang in 2, but I think both games are gonna be very close. I think they'll come down to like 2 to 3 point games.
It is gonna be very close all the way around.
Oh yeah, no matter what, it's gonna be a very competitive game. No matter which team takes the win.
Yep.
And I just got to say, Kang in the preseason seemed like they were having a little bit of trouble hanging in that gold tier. But I think what we've seen so far this season, they're going to have no trouble at all as they have come back a lot stronger. And because of that, I'm going to have to agree with White Fox that I think Kang will ultimately take that one just because of how strong they've been so far from what we've seen so far. Because yeah, that's but both very very good teams. And it looks like Infinite is getting back into their groove as well. So I think that's going to be an amazing series to watch.
Yep,
Right, so
I can't wait to
now
see that one.
another gold matchup here. One of the handful we have: Orbit versus Joker.
I'm
do
sorry,
I
as
agree
much
with
as
you?
I respect Orbit, Joker in 2. Orbit's a really strong team, but Joker is so much more seasoned, and they just have their team chemistry down to a science. Like some of the other gold teams here, they're really strong, very strong in the bubble, very strong, very quick as well around the field. They're gonna be very competitive matches, but I'm gonna give it to Joker in 2.
Joker in 2.
I'm sorry, Zenith, but you know I'm right.
Yeah, I double that. Joker in 2. I mean, that chemistry there is just phenomenal.
I mean, they do play obscenely well together. The Joker boys, the Joker kids, the Joker teams, the Joker young
I think
adults.
we should almost disband them because they play too well together.
Yeah, right.
No.
Well, they also
They're
have
too
that
young.
reputation of being like
we need that top line. We need that top line
Oh,
of
yeah.
teams too.
I agree.
Well, yeah, and they have that reputation of being meta killers. You know, they kind of always have their own spin on things, their own way of doing things. And so far, it's worked out for them.
Yep, they're a team that needs to be beat. 100%. So I'm thinking Joker in 2 as well.
I feel like a butt's coming.
Yeah, well, not for this game. I think that's the way it's going to be. But I think Orbit will eventually, later in the season, come back, and they might be a little more challenging towards Joker. Not that they won't be, but I think it'll be a much closer match next time they see him.
Now that we all went
If they do.
Joker, now the pressure's on as the underdog and watch Orbit come back.
That's right, Zenith. I want to see
All
it.
right, I do want to see it.
Come on, Zenith. We believe in
Zenith,
you.
yeah.
Well, not really, but we have hope.
Prove us wrong. Actually, I would actually.
Prove
really
us wrong.
appreciate
I'd be
that.
so happy
Yeah.
to see you guys win. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think it's worthy of note that Orbit versus Joker, these are two teams, and I think it has to do with how young they are. But they tend to draw the most salt out of the teams they play against, and whether it's legitimate or it's just salt, they both have this way of getting under your skin, and some teams suffer from tilt. I think these are two teams that dish tilt
Create
out.
the tilt.
Yeah. And I don't think that's what causes them to win, but it's definitely I would call it a strength of theirs. Whether or not they do it on purpose, I think Joker does sometimes. But which is not an indictment on them. I mean, all power to them. I love it when I see it. I hate it when I see it directed at me. You know, if I'm in a game and you got someone taunting, that's one thing. But when you see it on camera, just as excitement. From my perspective, it adds excitement. What's going on? All right, so now to the penultimate game of the schedule here. Another two powerhouses, the defending champions Illuminati versus Kangarillas. What are you guys thinking about this one?
Oh boy,
that's a really tough one. Both teams play in a very controlled but very quick manner. You know what? I think that the way Kangos has been showing up and just doing everything so right this season so far, I'm gonna give it to Kangos, but in 3.
Kang in 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Illuminati in 3. They've definitely shown a lot of skill. Very well passing, good passing in their games. I'm gonna give it to Illuminati in 3.
Yeah, very good passing. I'm gonna have to go with oh boy, this is a tough one, but probably Kang, but I'm gonna give it in 2. I think it's be very tight, but if they can keep it very tight, I think they can keep it going and beat them.
Thanks for giving me some points, boys.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to agree with Venom there. I think Illuminati is definitely gonna take that. Not definitely, because Kang is like I was just gushing over how much better Kang's been performing in season one over the preseason. But Illuminati, they have not skipped a beat. Just the strength of that roster is just it's unrivaled in my opinion. The players they have over on Illuminati there. So very excited to see that matchup because that's going to be without a doubt it's going to be a great game.
Oh yeah.
100%.
So now our
Well, and
last.
as I was just
Oh,
taking a
go
look
ahead.
at one last thing, while I was taking a look at their rosters as well, I was just taking a look at points scored as well, and Kango has about double the points scored.
Well, at the
How
same
many
overall.
time, I
how
mean,
many games did they take in those
They're
matches
they're
though?
they're
Did
both
they take
yeah,
3
was
or
it?
they're
Did they
both
get a
two.
two? Both to two.
Oh,
But as
okay.
Both
well,
the
it
two,
kind
but
of
it's
some teams do.
44 to
You're gonna find, especially this early in the season, because there are some teams that are like I think Nova's a great example of a team. We tend to be really, really defensive heavy, and so I feel like the teams tend to maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but I feel like there's but on a kind of an overall average, when you're playing more defensive heavy teams, you're gonna get lower score count. So higher score count, not necessarily informative. It's kind of like plus minus in
Mm.
hockey. It means something if it's massive or if it's really small or really negative.
Yeah.
But if it, generally, especially only after 2 games so far, I don't know
Yeah.
if we can.
I do want to point out
yeah.
Kang went to 3 games, not 2, and
That's a
against
fair
Joker.
point.
Did
So
they?
that
Okay.
does give him a little bit more point advantage there. So
Yeah, because I see it's like 41 to 83 or 44 to 83 with Kango having a 68% score rate
Score
versus
can be
the
misleading
opposing
though. That's the
59.
problem with
It
that.
can be. It can be. Well, especially considering the amount of dunk passes that people are doing as well.
Mhm.
The teams are doing.
Yep.
Yep.
It's gonna be
All right.
close.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it's definitely going to be close. No doubt about that one.
Because technically, score is misleading because my team still has the most points scored.
Well, then very misleading. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, very misleading is what I was trying to get across.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right, so
So-
to the last matchup here we have going. Another big one here, a rematch, if you will, of the final series. Illuminati versus Joker. Definitely one that's going to be exciting, no doubt, and definitely one that's going to be hard to predict. What are you guys thinking?
That's
And
a tough one.
silence.
Boy.
That I think that silence speaks louder than anything y'all are going to have to say about it.
I'm gonna go with Illuminati in 2.
Illuminati in
I think they'll pull
2.
through it. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a tight one. I'm thinking Joker's gonna pull through, but in 3.
Joker in 3. Yeah, late toast. So late toast is saying wait last matchup. Yeah, we're to kind of keep because we've been pushing an hour, but this is kind of a niche thing, and so it feels like hour might be a little gratuitous unless we were mixing it up a little bit. So we've been focusing on the gold, silver, and silver/bronze matchups, and unfortunately this week there were only 2 silver/bronze matchups, and that's not to say anything negative about any teams that are in bronze, and certainly there's quite a few of them right now that are going to be working their ways up very, very quickly over season one. But yeah, just to cut down on the time and to allow us to, because sometimes we want to go more in depth into certain things, and I noticed last week I was having to rush us through sometimes, and so to allow us that space to do that. We're just kind of focusing here. So really, but all we have left here is one prediction, and that's Shepard in the Illuminati versus Joker. What are you feeling about that one, man?
What I'm
Sorry,
feeling
Toast.
about that one is definitely is going to 3. But in favor of who, it's really hard to tell because both of these teams have played against each other a lot, as we saw in the double elimination finals of the preseason. However, these are not the same teams anymore. Joker's had a little bit of a roster change. Illuminati's still been going strong. I'm gonna say Illuminati in 3.
Illuminati in
It's gonna be
3.
a really tough match, though. They're gonna be so close, and they can swing either way at any point in time. because Illuminati can rack up those points really quickly if the other team lets them, like incredibly fast, like we saw with the Infinite game.
Yeah. No, that's definitely for sure. And just one more comment to Latos, especially after the way you guys played tonight, man. I expect you guys to move up into silver rather quickly, so I do expect to be talking about Nebula a bit more in the coming weeks because y'all's play, particularly in the bubble, on both sides, was phenomenal. And that's to say, like the number of saves, like White Fox. I don't know how many opportunities you had tonight.
Yeah.
You guys had so many shots, and their goalie, who was that? Sweet Tooth was just
Sweet Tooth
unreal.
was phenomenal. I mean, between the goaling and the boosting, they'll be there quick. I can see it now.
Yeah, and so yeah, like we were talking about Lit's, just how fast Lit and y'all's chains in general, but yeah, so yeah, we expect. Don't worry, Late Toast. I expect to be talking about Nebula more in the coming weeks. So just keep playing, and you'll definitely be brought up more often. Ryan, I don't even know what that emote means, but
Not like this. Not like this.
not like this. Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm so new to the Twitch sphere. But yeah, so that's the predictions. We got through all of those. Looks like right about 30 minutes. So that makes me happy. I believe we started right about 11:20 Eastern.
Shepard was right on time. He arrived when he wanted to.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that'll do it for us here. Of course, before we go, let anybody plug. Shep, you have what's your Twitch?
Follow me on Twitch, people. The Danimal454. I'll type in chat.
And
Me.
Venom. Throughout you got that. So your YouTube.
Yep. YouTube, Venom XVR. Also check out my Instagram. I forgot about that one last night.
On
It's a
Instagram.
good way to find out when our matches are. So I do post on there.
There you go. And White Fox, I don't know. Do you have any social media or Twitch or anything? You do any of that?
I do have my Twitch. I'll post it in there. White_Fox91.
And Palador, of course, bumping the Echo Arena VRML Twitch page as well. Of course, got to get that one out there and
Yeah,
get
give that
more
one a
people
follow.
over on that one. And yeah, so I believe that, and of course, we're on my Twitch, so there's no, this Sir Doomley, there's no plugging I need to do here. So I believe that'll do it for us here in the Echo. This has been the Forward Echo podcast, brought to you by nobody. That was Shepard of Shepard of Flair. I just forgot your team name. Of course, Venom of Nova and White Fox of Guinness. Sorry, White Fox. It's gonna take me a minute to get your name on the tip of my tongue.
In
White Fox
Beer
of
League,
Guinness.
and you can't remember Guinness.
Yeah, I know. It's and I'm Irish, so I mean that's just like a triple whammy, right?
It's because
Wow.
he drank too much Guinness.
Yeah.
There we go.
So hey, it's Dragon King. What's up, Dragon King? Nice to see you.
It's the same thing with NyQuil. You drink it till the Q starts talking.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not fun.
Speaking from experience. Yep.
I did not say that. So, all right, that'll do it for us here tonight on the Echo. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be back on Sunday after the final game. And yeah, so thank everybody. Follow and like and subscribe and whatever else. I don't even know. But yeah, y'all have a good night.